All right, let's talk about gathering for Guild Fest. So first of all, one thing we're gonna talk about is the average point you want to get. So in my guild, we're currently in the Master Gauntlet for Guild Fest, and the requirement is 1,500 points for all accounts with 11 quests. So that means that even if you miss the bonus quests, which I did this time around, I need to get an average of 140 points to get the minimum, which I blew past because I'm really great at the Guild Fest. I know what to do. So there are a bunch of gather quests, good ones and bad ones. And depending on the gauntlet you're in, some of the quests are not going to be there. So in this video, we're gonna talk about the 175. So clear a full level 5 resource tile. We're only gonna talk about this one. I'm not gonna talk about the other one because I think that this one is good, but the other ones are not that good. We're gonna talk about the 161, which is only available at Master Gauntlet. There's also a 178, currently none on the board, also only available at Master Gauntlet. We're gonna talk about the 143, which is not currently on the board, which is available at the Beginner's Gauntlet. It's a good one. And also the 152, which is available at Intermediate Gauntlet. So first of all, so we're gonna look at this from the viewpoint of what's the bare minimum that you need. So for an example, basically, we're gonna look at how long does it take, let's say for level 3 tiles? Because at the bare minimum, maybe you're in a kingdom with a lot of high population and a lot of people competing for level 4 tiles, and also level 5. Level 5 tiles are a pain in the ass. There's a lot of people trying to get them. That's why I really don't focus on them. Level 4 in this kingdom, it's kind of easy to get a level 4 tile, so that's not really a problem. It's not a big, it's not a very high level kingdom, not high population. So, but let's say you're on a big kingdom, you have a hard time with level 4. Let's say there's tile hitters maybe in your kingdom, which we don't in our kingdom, but let's say you're in the worst situation possible. You're castle 24. You don't even have 5 armies. So we'll look at that. So first of all, when I have all my gears, we'll look at how long it takes. Oh crap, it's not even full. It's not even full. So let me TP to a place where I got access to 2 level 3 tile of the same type. Oh, this one, yes, this one and this one. So I'll TP right in the middle, and I'll do this one with my gear on, which is gonna pick up my T1s. It's very good to have T1 because they're really fast to travel to the tile. So as soon as I get there, I'm gonna change into a bad gear just to show what it would be like if I didn't have gear, if I didn't have good research and all that good stuff. So if we look the difference of time that it takes, so basically 1 hour 44 with bad gear and 1 hour 30. So it's about it's about 15 minutes difference. So that means that if I have 4 army with good gear, I can do about 3 million resource in 90 minutes, and I can do 3 million resource in 105. So we're gonna be looking at the worst case scenario. So 105 for level 3 wood. So that means that basically one of the easiest. So basically there are two good easy quests for gathering. So the 143 is all the normal resources. Gives you between 25 and 40 hours depending on the type. And basically at if you add 4 armies out, it would take you about 6 rounds of 4 army. So basically, it would take you about 630 minutes. So that's about 10 and a half hour to complete that. And it gives you 25 to 40 hours. So obviously, it's really easy. These quests, and right now there's none on the board, but these gathering quests of 143, they're good ones because it gives you the average that you need. It's a good average, 143 points. You have no stress. Basically you have plenty of time to do that. You can do that in a day, even with 4 armies, even with doing level 3, even if you have very, very bad gear for one, bad talents. It's always a good idea to have your talents set. So I have my GF talents where I have gathering maxed out and also have research, and on the other side I have training, speed, and on this account I have ranged offense. So it's always very good, but even if you have bad gear, this helps. As far as the research are concerned, so obviously there's one, I believe, right there in economy, so you should have this one very high. The second one is under army leadership. That's a good one to have. Third one, I believe, is under sigil. Yes. So custom, so it's not a good one. The reason why I have this one is because I'm doing sigil eventually, and I believe that is it the last one? I think that's all. There might be one in wonder. Nope. There's only speed, so there's only 3 of them, I believe. So those helps. Now, so the 143 takes about 6 rounds at 4 armies. Obviously, if you have 5, 6, and 7 armies, that helps. Now, as far as the armies go, just remember that you get your army limit from castle. So the first, basically, at level 19, you should have 4. And I believe that whenever you hit 15 is when you are eligible for Guildfest, so you should have at least 3 armies. So basically, you start Guildfest, even if you're lower account and out and hyper, make sure you have enough troops. You got 4 armies at level 19, and then you unlock the 5th one once you unlock 25. As far as research, the first one is kind of easy to get. Still take a long time, but bigger army ones, it's a great one to get. This one takes a really, really long time because you have to max the whole 3. The bigger army 3 is where it is. It's here. It still takes a long time, but it's easier to get than this one. Okay, the other one that you want to do is the 152. So 152 is for resources. Any resources, and you have 44 hours. So really next to 2 days. The good thing is you can choose any type of resource. So it's easier because you can choose any level 4. By the way, food is really fast, but if you're food negative, you will just lose. So I don't do food for that reason, but you can. This quest with the 152 takes about 10 rounds of 10 armies. So obviously 10 rounds at let's say it's 2 hours, so 10 rounds, it's 20 hours, and you have 44 hours. Plenty of time. So these are easy. Obviously, it's the better your gear, the faster you're gonna do this. Make sure you're in talents. Like I said, you unlock 152 at intermediate. Now, once you're in the Master Gauntlet, there's 2 things you got to remember. So when you're in the Master Gauntlet, you're gonna also have some bonus points. And one of the quests that you can get, because you get a 3 of those. So in that case, I had complete 6 quests on the last day. I had 5 Labyrinth, Guardian, or Gem Engraving quests, which I think I did 4, which is a good one. And then I had to open 135 mystery box, which I did on the 6th day. This is a painful quest, but You got to do what you got to do, huh? So there's a possibility of getting 150 million resource gathered. This is really easy to do if you have a good account. Uh, five, 6 or 7 armies. It's really easy. You just have to be active. So that means you need to gather 22 millions a day, 22 million resource a day. It's really easy. I think I do 35 million when I'm crunching this. So it's a good bonus point quest for a free to play account. So in the Master Gauntlet, there's two more quests that you can get. There's, like I said, the 161. So these take, depending on the resource type, it's between 9 and 13 hours. As you can see, it's a lot of resource. It's about the same amount of resource as a 143, but you have way less time to do it. So you gotta rush. This is not something that you can do. Oh, and we see someone is resetting the quest. That's a good thing. That's not something you can do. You cannot do that if you're only doing it once a day. If you're logging in once or twice a day, don't do those quests. So I will not suggest to do that at 4 armies. You kind of need to have 5 armies to do that. Otherwise, it's gonna come down to the wire. So at 5 army, let's say it takes 2 hours. Okay, let's say you have 5 armies, but you don't have good gear, or you don't have your leader for some reason, and you have bad research, and for some reason you don't have your gathering talent. Let's say it takes 2 hours to do a level 3. At 5 armies, it's gonna take you 5 rounds. So at 2 hours, it's gonna come down to the wire. So you might have to recall some of those tiles in the last hour to finish it, especially the one that's 9 hours. But it's doable. It's really doable. I usually complete those quests in about half the time. So I do those quests in let's say the 9 hours, I do this one in 5 hours, and then the 13 hours I do these in 6 hours or something like that. It's, for me, obviously on this account I have kind of good gear. My talents are for gathering, and I have a bunch of research, and I also have 7 armies on this account. So really easy for that. On another lower account, I have 5 armies, and I still manage to do those with time to spare. But sometimes it comes down to the last 2 hours, which is not bad. 2 hours out of 9 is not that bad. The other ones, which I don't believe we have on the board now, that they've reset some of those quests, was the 178. 178 is the best one to do. You basically, same thing, you need to have good gear. You need to have at least 5 armies. You don't need good gear, sorry. You need to have at least 5 armies. You can do that with normal gathering gear. You can do that with 5 armies. The 178, you basically need between 11 and 15 hours, and you need to do 7 rounds at 5 armies. So this can be very close down to the wire. One thing that I didn't talk about was the gathering speed. Make sure that you pop these whenever you start a quest. This is, so 50% right now. Let's look at what I have with my gear on. Let's look at my stats. My gathering speed is at 328. I would be at 378. All right, let's do that. Let's pop this to see what kind of difference it will make. If you remember, well, I'll do this one. It's the same thing, the same speed. So let's do this and see how long it will take. So 1 hour, 18 minutes, so about 10 minutes faster. So 80 minutes for this. Without the boost, I had 90 minutes, and with bad gear, I had about 105. So it's a good difference, very good difference. So never forget to have your gear on you. So 7 rounds at 80 minutes. That's 560. and 560 is roughly 9 hours. So it's doable with level 3, tiles, but it's like I say, it's gonna come down to the wire if you have bad gear. So the 161 and 178, it's a gamble if you're not that high level. The last thing I want to talk about, so for this, obviously I will just do this because I'm gonna do something. This doesn't count if you do Guildfest. But the last one, level 5. Level 5, you have 2 days to do those. It's plenty of time if you're very active, but you might be in a kingdom where people tile each other on level 5, which bad. You will have to fight. You will have to look at the times. This one is not close. This one is close, so you have to monitor the one that are close to finishing up, and then as soon as it finishes up, you gotta look around, find the new one that appeared, and maybe use some boots to get there, which I really don't like that. So it's up to you. The ones that like, see, it's not very active. People are mostly finished with Guildfest, so this would be a good one. But I don't like those. It's an easy one. The 175 has value. The other ones are not that great. So that's about it for gathering. Next up, in the next video tomorrow, we're gonna talk about Dark Nest. Thanks for watching.